and radio check. So yeah, loud and clear. So hello everyone and welcome to the live stream for Watchalong of FP1 here at Austria, the round 11 of the 2025 Formula 1 season. Just so that you guys might have forgot, here's a quick recap of what happened in the last round. It was the Canadian Grand Prix and it was George Russell starting on pole, Max Verstappen alongside him, and it was kind of speculated maybe Max might lose his cool, crash into George, and have a race ban. Okay, Hamilton facing a gearbox issue, so a gearbox issue for Hamilton. But as I was saying, last week round, Russell was tapping on the front row. Five was expected, but it was nothing doing so in such a way. And at the end, it was George Russell who emerged as victorious, with a few safety cars in the race as well, but a clean race for Russell right last time round. But the main incident was behind them. The two McLarens finally had to race each other. We all have been waiting for this moment as soon as this pre-season testing has begun, because after testing it was kind of expected that okay, McLaren is the fastest package, no one seems close to them. So maybe we might not see a multi-team battle, but an inter-team battle between McLarens, similar to the Hamilton-Rosberg battle in 2016, is possible. 9 rounds had passed by, and they might have had a few wheel-to-wheel moments. I remember in Australia where Oscar was given team orders to hold positions, but apart from that, there was no inter-team battle. But finally, at Canada, of all places, after poor qualifying but with neo suspension, Lando Norris caught up to the back of Oscar Piastri, and the two battled not for long, for around half a lap, but eventually Lando Norris misjudged his overtaking opportunity and crashed into the back of Piastri. Fortunately, there was no damage done to Oscar's car or his race, so the relation is still okay, and Lando immediately on the radio said that he apologizes for the incident. So yeah, the incident is cleared now, but surely there will be something in mind of both the drivers going forward that we have to take this more seriously. So that is a little bit quick, not the quickest, but a quick recap from the last race at Austria. Here is Carlos Sainz on a set of medium tires, goes fastest. So Carlos doing a lap time of 1 minute 6.007 and is currently a tenth and a half around quicker than George Russell, who sits in P3. So we have 37 minutes left into this practice session. Thank you very much to everyone who have tuned in for the stream. Your help and support really means a lot. I will try to commentate on all the sessions this weekend, so be sure to tune into the stream and show as much support as possible. It really helps and motivates me a lot. Moving on to the on track action. We all know FP1 timings need to be taken with a pinch of salt. And this dialogue, I think I have said for 1,000 times on this channel. But still, let's take a look at what the driver order is. Before that, on board with Alex Albon. Oh, a slight twitch of oversteer into the turn 9 corner, and which eventually ruins his 9 and 10 corner as well. Talking of turn 9, I just remembered a thing. If you guys remember from the past few years, FIA and Formula 1 in specific, not FIA, let's not include MBS and his clown team here. F1 in more general have been a lot more stricter about track limits in the past few seasons. And out of all places, Austria is the track where I think a lot of track infringements have been recorded. I remember a race, I think 2 years ago, where Esteban Ocon received around 30 seconds of time penalties just for exceeding track limits. So this is how severe it is here. I remember the incident from Sergio Perez where his lap time was initially regarded as track time deleted, but eventually it was reinstated because of track limits and all that stuff. So yeah, track limits will be a key talking point throughout the weekend, and don't be shocked if I mention that word for 1,000 times, because that is a huge deciding factor here around Austria. So as I was saying, let's take a look at what the pecking order looks like. Out at front, okay, before that, George Russell is on a good lap, so maybe we talk about the pecking order after his lap is being completed. Here George Russell crosses the line and goes fastest. a 1 minute 5.771. So the first driver in the 1 minute 5 is Russell, but obviously on a set of softs. Oscar Piastri is the next to cross the line, and he takes his McLaren up to P4 now. Five around half a second slower than George, but still it's practice, so let's not jump a lot into it. But let's talk about each team as we go through each driver. As here is Lando Norris on our screen currently sitting out for FP1. In place of him, it's Alex Doon. Sorry if I'm pronouncing the name incorrectly. As Norris can't control his smile as he realizes he's seen on the screen. Alex Doon, who is currently sitting in P20, is driving in place of Lando Norris, and Dino Beganovic is driving in place of Charles Leclerc for Ferrari in under the, I think it is the young drivers program, for which teams are requested to run two drivers per car each season in an FP1 session, a young driver with less than two race starts. So yeah, currently 35 minutes are left, and the fastest driver of all at the moment is George Russell. Obviously, the winner from the last year's Austrian Grand Prix after all the proceedings that went forward between um, Verstappen and Norris. Also, the winner from the last weekend's race at Canada, also because of proceedings between Piastri and Norris. So, I have created a reel on this on my Instagram channel as well, Instagram account, not channel, YouTube have channel. So yeah, be sure to check it out as well. But what it says is, George has had 4 wins in his Formula One career, and out of 4 of those, in 3 wins, Lando Norris has crashed or either DNF. Brazil 2022, George's first win, and Lando DNF because of an engine failure in that. George's second win was in Austria 2024 last season, and Lando crashed with Max and DNF'd. George wins. Last season, Las Vegas is an exception, but as I said, in the third time, that is at the previous weekend in Canada, Lando Norris again crashed with Oscar Piastri, and it was George Russell who emerged as the victorious driver. So yeah, if I had a nickel for every time Norris crashed and Russell won the race, I would have 3 nickels, but which is not a lot, but it is shocking that it has happened thrice out of 4 Russell wins. That is all I have to say for George. And talking of Mercedes in general, we all know the track temperatures around Austria is traditionally quite a lot. It is a tire screamer and a tire burner this race, and usually a two-stopper here around. With Pirelli, if they opt for a softer set of tires, it is a disaster for the team strategists. At the moment, the track temperature currently sits at a 38 degrees Celsius, so not a lot, but let's see how the weather pans out for tomorrow and the Sunday's race. And talking of the track temperatures, we all know historically Mercedes have been the team who have struggled the most out of all teams because of track temperature. And this has been the case for Mercedes since the start of this new ground effect era. We have saw many a times when the track temperature is cooler and the sun is not blazing over the track, Mercedes out of nowhere, if they have a good setup, is a condition here as well. I mean, I remember Imola 2022 and Lewis was stuck behind the rear end of Gasly for around 30 laps and was lapped by Max Verstappen. So there is still an outlier, but generally the trend is when the track is cooler and Mercedes is in a good setup window, they are absolutely rapid. But as I said, Austria is kind of a tire conservation city, so let's see how the weekend pans out for the Silver Arrows. I mean, last weekend at Canada as well, the qualifying was in a bit cooler conditions, but in the race, the sun was, I think it was around 40 degrees Celsius, but still the Mercedes managed to keep the car and the tire in good condition. So yeah, let's see how this weekend pans. Kimi Antonelli currently sits in P3, and I have been quite impressed by Kimi. I have said it again 100 times. He is the first driver in Formula 1 who is younger than me. I think I'm April 2006, he is August 2006. So 4 months younger than me, Kimi, and yeah, I'm very happy to see him succeed in Formula 1. His first podium last time around in Canada. Let's see if we can keep the momentum going. In P2 currently, we have the Williams of Carlos Sainz as Alex Doon crosses the line and stays P20, the young driver for McLaren. In P2 currently, it is Carlos Sainz talking of Carlos Sainz and Williams more specifically, the past two weekends have been the ones to forget, I will say. Around Spain, McLaren, oh sorry, Williams, I think, are a kind of team now who are expected to be quick every weekend now. It is not the good old Williams from 2022, if you guys remember. That okay, they will be quick at Spa, Italy, and Canada, which have long straights and they are slippery in a straight line. So Williams, a good progress from them, but they are kind of a victim of their own success at the moment. People expect them to be strong every race, but the past two ones have not been the greatest of them all. Even after Williams scoring a point last weekend, we are here saying that it was not a great weekend for Williams. This just shows the progress the team has currently made, as Lewis Hamilton is currently on a fast lap. Lewis Hamilton currently sits in P18 and the slowest of all the drivers. Let's exclude Biganovic and Dune, as Dune goes up to P17. Okay, so Hamilton in P19 had a gearbox issue a few laps ago. Is not on a very convincing lap, like it seems to be below average. Let's see where Lewis pops up into the timing sheets. Going through the final two corners, as I said, track limits are the things to be noted for qualifying, but not a huge issue in practice. Hamilton up to P16, a second and a half slower than George Russell. As a Ferrari and a Hamilton fan, that's very painful to be honest with you. As Gabriel Bortoleto moves up to P2, well, that's a good lap time from Bortoleto. Here is, who is that, Sonora or Max? It is Max Verstappen starting his flying lap, going all the way over the curbs there. Full commitment from Max there. So, yeah, as I was talking about all the drivers, let's first of all take a look at how Max's lap pans here. A green first sector for Max, up the hill and now downhill for the second sector. The second DRS straight, a few slipstream from the V carb as Verstappen. Into the second sector, the car looks to be hooked at the moment. Obviously, it is still an early days in weekend as there's a yellow flag in sector 1. But this might not hamper Max's lap. Let's see how the lap. Oh, it is sector 1 and it is Alonso who has spun onto the main straight. But yeah, the track should be clear before Max, I think, ends his lap. Let's see where Max slots in. Verstappen crosses the line, stays P7. So I think he bails out on the end part of his lap. We'll also take a look at the reason for Fernando's spun there as soon as we have the replay on our screen. So yeah, as I was talking about, let's discuss a bit more about the teams. We discussed about Mercedes. The next team we will be discussing. Just a second. So hello Darkfire in the comments. Thank you very much, mate, for tuning into the stream. As I was saying, let's discuss. Oh, Fernando Alonso, I think, just had a bang slapper on the exit of turn 10 there. But yeah, as I was saying, discussing the teams. Next up, we have Williams. Obviously, not a great weekend for them last time round. Alex Albon didn't even score points and had to retire. Carlos Sainz with a great strategy, I will say, one stopper worked well for Carlos there and scored a single point, which is still not great from the standards Williams have set this season. Next up, let's talk about McLaren. Oscar Piastri currently sits in P11 and Alex Dune, the one of the two rookies, currently sits in P19 as Yuki Tsunoda sets the fastest first sector currently on track. As I was saying, talking of McLaren, last weekend was not a great weekend, and I will say the worst weekend for McLaren of the season, because it was the first time this season that none of the two McLarens was on the podium, and that is a big thing because scoring 10 podiums in a row, I think it was 8 podiums for Lando and 8 for Oscar, if I'm not wrong. No, it was 9 for Lando and 9 for Oscar. Lando, I think, was off the podium in, I'm not sure, and Oscar was off the podium in Australia. So no, it was 8 podiums for Oscar. Yes, he was on a continued 8 podium streak. But yeah, talking about McLaren, last weekend was not the one to remember for them. But surely, if you take a look at the race pace and how they were faring up with the drivers in front, it was not actually that bad. Oscar was constantly able to stay in touch with Max and George, which maybe suggests to me that if Oscar and Lando would have had a great qualifying, they might have been able to maintain the lead and maybe even able to win the race. So yeah, let's see how this weekend fares out for the two McLarens, and surely they'll be hoping to return to winning ways. Especially Lando, who has lost out quite a few points to Oscar in the Drivers' Championship, and he'll be daily looking forward to take the lead back or at least close up to Oscar this weekend. Next up, we have Red Bull. Currently, Max is sitting in. Where's Max? I'm not able to see him. Max, Max Verstappen. Oh, I was searching Max above Yuki, which is generally the trend, but Yuki currently P8 and Max. Sorry, it is Yuki in P11 and Max in P14. So yeah, again talking of the Red Bull, similar to the Mercedes. I mean, talking of Red Bull, we should talk about Max in general only because Yuki, to be honest, has not had a great impression till now this season. Still a long season to go. But yeah, Max Verstappen is kind of a beast around this track, has won 4 times on this layout when it is called the Austrian Grand Prix and 1 time when it was called the Styrian Grand Prix. So yeah, Max Verstappen also has won a couple of races this season purely based on his pace, and I'm quite sure Red Bull were not the quickest car that weekend. But last weekend around, if it was not for George's mighty lap in qualifying, I feel that if Max would have started on pole, he would have kept George at bay and would have won the race. So yeah, again, let's see this weekend what pace the Red Bull has, especially Max around here, because generally the Red Bulls tend to be quite good around this track. So let's see how the weekend pans out. Talking of few other teams, let's move to which team? I'm not sure. Let's move to maybe Aston Martin. Last weekend, I think it was a great weekend for Fernando. Again, scoring some points finally, and in 2 races in a row, it is Fernando Alonso scoring the points after an 8 race drought of not scoring a single point. So that's good for Aston. Surely, from the start of the season, there have been a few positive steps in the forward direction, but still, they lack a lot of pace as compared to the front runners. Uh, Compared to where they were in the 2023 season. Um, on the other hand, Fernando's teammate Lance has been nowhere in the past few races. At the start of the season, Lance was doing a great job keeping Fernando at bay and scoring points for the team. But it has been the case with Lance for the past few seasons that as the season progresses, Lance kind of loses his pace and focus somehow. I'm not sure why, but yeah. That's that for Aston Martin. Still, they are nowhere considering they have the likes of Newey and a lot of big figures within that team. But yeah, let's see. 2026 might be the target for Aston. Pierre Gasly sits in P4 and his teammate Colapinto in P14. Talking of Alpine, or aka the French team, they have had a rough season this year. A few standout performances from Gasly have been the highlights. But if I'm not wrong, the Renault Group CEO has stepped down from his job a few days ago. This just shows the lack of stability within that French team, and surely they will be looking to at least stabilize the ship, at least with the driver lineup, because this is the end of the 5 years deal for Franco Colapinto. Although Flavio Briatore, the boss of Alpine F1 or advisor, I'm not sure about his role, but he has said in an interview that he's not sure what the 5 years deal is. So this maybe suggests that Franco might keep his seat, considering he has not at least bent the car like Jack Doohan used to. But yeah, not something special performances from Franco till now. Next up, moving on to Stake F1 team Kick Sauber. They have been quite decent since the last 2 rounds as well. I mean, I remember the moment where Nico Hulkenberg overtook a Ferrari of Lewis Hamilton in terms of pure pace. Obviously, I know it was because of Lewis on an older set of tires, but come on. Anyways, it's an Sauber overtaking a Ferrari. That's the main headline there. So yeah, in the past few weekends, past couple of weekends to be said, they have been in a good shape and would like to carry their form forward. Obviously, Bortoleto still yet to score a point, has shown some glimmers of pace, but yeah, still is yet to score a few points in his season with Sauber. Finally, we are left with V Cup. V Cup in the hands of Hadja has been an absolute rocket ship this season. Like, honestly, I was not expecting a lot from Hadja, to be honest with you, and I thought maybe Hadja might even be fired in the mid-season break because Red Bull have the likes of, who was it, Arvid Limlad in F2, who is a promising young rookie. As here is Esteban Ocon, who has went straight on into the runoff at turn 1 but hasn't crashed the car and will be back on track surely without any damage done. But yeah, amazing performance from Isaac Hatcher this season. Has been the pick of the rookies, I will say the rookie of the season. Kimi has done some great performances, but I will say he has not been that consistent as compared to what Haja has been. So yeah, pick of the rookies for me, Isaac Haja. Liam Lawson obviously started with the Red Bull, ends up in a V Cup. Not the best thing for. Okay, I thought, yeah, it is Esteban Ocon. The F1 graphics said it was Oli Bayman. On board with Ocon, oh, runs a bit wide into turn 1 and just takes a bit more of curve on braking, which unsettles his car and goes straight on as Ocon reports a flat spot on the radio. But as I was saying, yeah, Liam Lawson started in a Red Bull, ends up in a V Cup. Obviously, which is not the best thing for a driver's confidence. Not a best thing for the driver's confidence, but it is what it is. Has been struggling a bit, I would say a lot, with the confidence in his car, but let's hope he has the confidence back and has a few weekends up ahead, few good weekends up ahead. So that was a quick rundown of the proceedings till now. We have 18 minutes left in the F1 session as Isaac Haja crosses the line, stays P9, doesn't improve his lap time and doesn't improve his position either. It is George Russell fastest of all in the Mercedes. And then in P2 we have Max Verstappen, who is only a few thousands, few hundreds behind of George. Oscar Piastri sits up in P3. So yeah, the usual suspects are out at front. And then we have Gasly in P4, Bortoleto P5, the Albon and Sainz is Williams in 6th and 7th respectively. Alex Dern, who now crosses the line and moves up to P4. Well, that's a great lap from Alex. I mean, I was not seeing that one coming from a young rookie who is in a young driver test, but yeah, a good lap from Alex Dern, moves himself up to P5, and then Bottle at 6th, Albon and Sainz in 7th and 8th. Then we have Hadja in 9th, Antonelli rounding out the top 10. Then we have Hulkenberg, Stroll, Alonso, Lawson, Colapinto, Sonoda, Dino Beganovic, Esteban Ocon, Oli Bayman, and Lewis Hamilton, the slowest of all. With 17 minutes to go, I will be again starting the commentary within a few minutes' time. So yeah, till then, enjoy the stream and please don't forget to like and subscribe. The stream is not ending, obviously. Just taking a quick water break. Please don't forget to like the stream and subscribe the channel in the meantime. It really means a lot to me. So yeah. And video check. So yeah, as I said, I will be back for the final part of this session. So currently we are left with 2 minutes and a few bit more seconds in this FP3 session, FP1 session, my bad there. And it is George Russell who is fastest of all, with Max Verstappen in P2 and Oscar Piastri sitting in P3. Alex Dune, of all people, a young rookie driving in a FP1 session, is P4 and only 700 slower than Oscar Piastri. I mean, that is the highlight of the practice sessions of the season. That is a young rookie in P4. I mean, that's absolutely amazing. I mean, I know McLaren is quick, the car is very, very rapid, but still, in your first FP1 session, I guess, I'm not sure about Dune's previous FP1 runs, but still, to get P4 is absolutely amazing. Pierre Gasly sits in P5, then we have Bortoleto, Albon, Sainz, and finally, after being last for majority of the session, Lewis Hamilton moves up to P9 and Isaac Hadjar rounds out the top 10. So I think that might be the pecking order for practice, because I don't see any driver who is currently on a quick lap, and everyone is doing kind of their race simulation runs. If we take a look at the lap times, I mean, I have kept last lap off, so yeah, race simulation runs going on for the teams and the drivers, and this might be very much it for the practice one session. So in the meantime, if you have any questions for the session, about the session, for the any upcoming streams you have, do feel free to share them in the live chat. Also, just for the new viewers tuning in, I will be streaming for the FP2, FP3, quali and the race session as well. So be sure to subscribe the channel and like the stream, not live the stream, like the stream, so that you don't miss any upcoming streams. And your help and support really means and motivates me a lot. That's all I have to say. No more begging for subscribers. Back to on track action. Again, riding on board with Alex Dune. Boy, he has impressed quite. I mean, I just can't stop talking about him since the time he has popped in a lap that is P4. I mean, the next driver in front of him is the championship leader Oscar Piastri. So yeah, that's a great lap time from him, and we have the final few seconds of FP1 left. So again, George Russell P1. Well, who would have thought? Neither did me, because as I said at the start of the stream, that Mercedes generally tend to struggle a lot in terms of tire degradation when it is a high temperature or a sunny day. At the moment, it is 37.3 degrees Celsius. So not a lot of temperature, but still, yeah, a good lap time from George there puts him up into P1. Max, again, as I said, was expected to be very quick around here, and so that's checkered flag, checkered flag. I just forgot to say that. And that's the end of the F1 session here at Austria. Max Verstappen sits in P2, which is not at all bad. As I said, it was expected for Max to be very quick around here. Red Bull and Max also have been quite quick around here in the past. I remember the race from Austria in 2019 where Max chased down Leclerc to take the race win. In 2021, he won the Styrian and Austrian Grand Prix both. I think in 2020 as well, he didn't win in 2020. It was Lewis winning both of them. In 22 and 23 as well, he won the race. So yeah, has had quite a strong track record around this track, and won't be surprised if he's winning the race this weekend as well. Talking of the race pace, I was just talking of. Here are the lap times that each driver is doing. Also, bear in mind the same old thing, the track temperature and the engine mode and the fuel loads. But Russell doing 109 force on a set of 13 lap old hard tires. Antonelli doing a 109 force similar to Russell on the hard tires, and Max doing 109 eights on a set of medium tires, which are 22 lap old. So definitely the first position for Mercedes is not only a one lap wonder, but the race pace suggests that they are quite strong as well. So thank you very much for all the support in the stream. Your help and support me really means a lot to me. Again, shout out to Alex Dune, P4, my boy. That's an amazing performance, especially as a young rookie. So that's it for practice. that hour went away quite quickly, I will say. So thank you very much everyone for all the support throughout the stream. Your help and support really means a lot to me. Also, shout out to Dino Beganovic in P18. Still not at the level of what Alex Dern did, but still a good showing from him. Didn't beast the car, didn't have any crazy kind of moments where he just lit up the rear end or something like that. So good job from the rookie there as well, but still a lot of work to do for Ferrari. Let's listen to the radio from Alex Dune, not Alex Albon. Yeah, so here's the radio from Alex Dern, currently in P4. Yeah, so Dune just thanking McLaren and especially Lando for trusting him and giving in his car for the F1 session. So yeah, good showing from the rookie, and that's it for the practice one session here at Austria, the Red Bull Ring. Again, I will say I'll be streaming for FP2 in a few hours from now, and also for the FP3 quali and the race as well. And also, will be doing my best to stream for all the races this season for all the sessions. Maybe I might not be able to stream a session here and there because of my exams and all those stuff, but surely I'll be assured that I'll be streaming for all the races and qualifying as well. So yeah, thank you very much for all the support, and I will see you all for FP2 for the Austrian Grand Prix. Thank you very much and have a great day ahead.